Hi everyone, it's Jill Lancet, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Grey Stains, Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. There you go, you got the whole lot. Now, this is my online store. If you want to buy anything through me, that's the place to go. Thank you in advance. If you have any questions, here is my email address. Please like, subscribe and share my videos. There might be somebody out there that you know that's just looking for what I have to say today. The host code for September is this series of letters and numbers, and it ends on the 30th of September. Now, I've got my widescreen happening today. When I say widescreen, I just lifted the camera up. I don't know how to do all that stuff. But anyway, I hope you can see everything. Now, today, I just finished a card making class. I have 2 every month in person, and they're both the same. They're both in different places, and so I do the same class in both places. But I don't usually post the stuff that we've made until after the second class because I don't want to spoil the surprise for them. But I'm going to try something different today. It went down a treat in both classes, and it's something that's been around for quite some time. Now, Connie Stewart's flashcard system. Brilliant. I have been a fan of Connie's for years, and she developed this back in 2012, and it was probably one of the first videos I'd seen on YouTube or wherever. And yeah, I've had the flashcard system in my arsenal for a long time, and I use the pieces for various things, but they're in American sizes. Now, while Connie graciously did do some in the metric size, do you think I could find them? No. So I had to sit down and work it out again for myself. So if you are in Australia, the UK, wherever we use the metric system, this is the tutorial for you. If you'd like a copy of this size in metric system to fit our A4, etc., then please let me know. Drop me a line at the email or put it in the comments. But you'll need to send me your email address either way. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to cut up your flashcards. Now, Connie has literally dozens and dozens and dozens of YouTube video cards using the flashcard system. So if you cut these up, you keep them in a little box or a drawer or something like that, you can actually make a Connie Stewart flashcard using our measurements. Watch her video, use our measurements. So I am going to show you how to cut this cardstock up. But there's a couple of things I want to mention. First of all, go and have a look at the clearance rack. The clearance sales in my online store, they've upgraded that. They've updated it, I should say. And there might be something there that you really want. The other thing is Stampin' Up! Are putting a free virtual World Card Making Day virtual event, and it is on the 7th of October. Now, it's free, but the best thing to do is to go to my online store, find this banner, register. You will need to put an email address in, but that means that they can send you out reminders. There's also a supply list that you can download and print out. There's also some card measurements. Now, on the day, we're going to be making 3 cards. You have to have your stuff prepared. You have to have it cut up all of it bundled up together, the stamp sets you want to use, and you don't have to use these. You can choose something you might already have. The same with color coordinate, colors and all the rest of the stuff. But here are the measurements, very important. Now, there's no time to stop and cut this stuff up while this event is happening. So, yeah, if you want to participate, I mean, you don't have to craft, you can just watch it. But if you do want to participate, yeah, go and get all the stuff, gather your supplies, have it all cut and ready, and then on the day, on the 7th, bang, 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 you can make the cards alongside everybody else. So that's a couple of things. And also here is, I think this might have been her latest one. This is Connie Stewart's site, Simply Simple Stamping. And there's 2 extra bonus cards here using the flash-cards. So go and have a look at that. You can go onto her site, www.simplysimplestamping.com, and you can see these. You can go to her YouTube channel and actually watch her make them. But I'm going to cut out now. And the idea behind the flashcard system is that you have these little pieces already. Now, when you want to make a card in a flash, you just pull out a neutral, like white, very vanilla, basic grey, any of those softer colours, and then you've got a backing piece in a darker cardstock. So once you've cut these up, you'll have enough for 8 cards for each. So I'm just going to show you how to cut these up. Now I'm bringing in my paper trimmer, and this is really good because it has inches as well as centimetres. Now in Australia, and I think in the UK, and I don't know, various other European countries use the metric system. Now, to her credit, Connie has developed this whole system, but if you watch her videos without understanding that our paper size is different, the cards are not going to turn out because the measurements are different. So what you need is a piece of cardstock. Now, this is an A4. This is what we use. And I've simplified this down to a few cuts. And the thing that you need to remember is we're going to cut on the long side. Okay, now I've put that in red. Always remember to cut along the long side each time. So I'm going to show you what we need to do. So the coloured cardstock is going to be the larger of the two. They will mat together. So this is the first cuts that you need to do. So we're going along the long side, and we're going 14.6. Now, if you don't want to jot this down, as I said, send me an email. I'll send this to you, and then you'll have it. 14.6, and we're going to cut that. Just turning that down a bit. So 14.6, and then we're moving this piece along to 14.6 again. 14.6. Now you will have a strip left over, and that is all the wastage on this card. It's that tiny little strip. Now you could use that for those cards where you put all those strips on. Yep. So now I've put those two together. Again, I have the long side. Now I'm going to cut this at 10.5. 10.5. I've now got 4 pieces. Now, I'm only going to cut 2 at a time on here because I don't want to wreck my blade. So now I've got 2 together, long side. I'm going to cut this at 7.3. 7.3. Now, I'm not totally above this. and I'm old, so yeah, I hope that's right. So effectively, this is half of this. So now I've got 4 pieces. And when I cut these two, I will have 8. So I'm cutting these also at 7.3. So 7.3. And I have 8 pieces of cardstock, and they turn out to be 10.5 by 7.3. So I've got 8. That's for 8 cards. Now, with your neutral colours, your basic white, your very vanilla, the measurements are slightly different, and we're going to do those. Both of the measurements are on this project sheet. So, yeah, if you want it, let me know and give me your email address so I can send it to you. So, again, we're starting on the long side, okay, and we're going to 13.4. 13.4 and cut. Moving this piece along to 13.4. 13.4, and I'm cutting. Now I've got a rather large scrap left over, but this is really useful for sentiments. So yeah, do not throw that out. That is going to come in very, very handy. So now I have these 2 pieces. So turning them to the long side, I'm cutting on the long side again, and I'm cutting at 9.9 centimetres. So that is 9.9. I'm going to slide this one across and cut it at 9.9. Now I'm going to have a little piece left over, and again, that is a really handy little strip for a sentiment. Again, don't throw that out. So now I've got 4 pieces. So 2 at a time I'm going to cut. I'm turning these around to the long side, and I'm going to cut this at 6.7. 6.7. So that is 1, 2. And I shall do the same with this one. 2 together, 6.7. And now I have 8 of these. Now, if I take one of these and one of these, you'll see how perfectly they match. Now you can punch things out of the middle of this, die cut things out of the middle of this. Literally go and look at Connie Stewart's YouTube channel. They are called flashcards. Now she did develop a second lot called Flashcards 2.0. These are not flashcards 2.0. These are just the standard flashcards. So now you know how to cut that. It's quite easy. You've got minimal scraps that are useful, and I have it all written down here for you. So if you do this with one sheet of every colour you have, you're going to get 8 cards out of every one sheet of each colour. So, I mean, you don't have to do them all in one day, but if you're sitting here and you're cutting something out, then maybe you should do that. So for the minute, that's all we're doing there. And I'm going to make a Christmas card, one of the cards that we made in class today, and using the flashcard system. And thank you, Connie, for developing that, because that was my first, I think that was my first foray into thinking about cutting cardstock economically, hopefully without too much wastage. So we're going to make a card. I'm just going to sit down again now. So it's a Christmas card, as you might have guessed, and we're going to be doing some embossing, some stamping and some heat embossing, and I've already cut everything out. Well, here are my flashcards. In this instance, it's real red and basic white. Here is some of the beautiful, I think it's Joy to Christmas. It's one of the new DSPs in the mini catalogue. And yeah, that's what we're going to use today. So the first thing I need to do is to cut my flashcard down to 9.5, I think it is. It's the same as this card here. Yep, 9.5. And this piece of DSP is 9.5 by 13.8.5. So I've got this in my drawer, and all I have to do literally is just trim off a little piece. I didn't have to cut it to size. That's all I have to do is just trim that down. And if you do this, you'll have this for really quick cards. You'll have these already in here. You can use them straight away. You can use them instead of trying to find a piece of scrap that's, you know, the right size for everything. But there you go. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to actually emboss this with the beautiful, the poinsettia one from the Basics. There's 3 in a pack of the embossing folders. And there is a line that you can line this up with if you so desire. I'm just going to do that because I'm a little bit, you know what. So I'm just going to emboss that. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Just have a look at the notes and see if there's anything there you can glean from, and I'll be back in a sec. I hope that embossed. No. Just hang on. Hold your horses, honey. Sometimes I try to do things quickly because I know everybody's busy. I know we've all got things we need to do. And then it backfires on me. So there's that beautiful embossing folder. And it looks a little bit like poinsettias. So we've got that now. And we're just going to do a few bits and pieces here now. First thing I'm going to do is to stamp and emboss on our other piece. And I'm going to emboss with gold embossing powder. So I want to use my embossing buddy. I want to make sure that I've got that really nice and anti-static, if that's a word. Using my Versamark. And I'm really inking this up because I want this to be really nice. Okay, so I'm just going to put this towards the center of this piece. straight down. Try not to rock it as I rock it, as I say that. And there, you can't even see that, but it's on there. So I'm just going to pop some of our gold embossing powder. And you will see it. Okay. Beautiful. May this season of sparkle bring joy and delight. Isn't it lovely? So I'm just going to heat that up, and using the heat tool. Now I'm just going to let that warm up for a second, and then I'm going to heat emboss it. Now you really only want to put the heat on this until it goes beautifully metallic and shiny. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Done. That was quick. That was easy. Now, I need my little die cutting machine. And I'm using one of the countryside corners, I want to say. I don't know. I think they're in the annual catalogue. And I'm going to just put some Scotch tape. It's just removable tape. I want to pop that in the centre, just like that. Now, plate 1, plate 2, and another plate 2. And that is just going to go straight through there. I'm going to cut it beautifully. My little machine back where it belongs and pop that out. Now you could keep this. You might find that you need another layer in white, so yeah, don't throw anything out. Never throw anything out. That's my motto, much to my husband's disgust. Now we're bringing back the Versamark. Now this is something I like to do. It kind of makes it a little bit rustic. It gives it a different look. It means that you don't have to put an extra piece of gold paper, gold specialty paper or something behind it. But I do this quite often, so I'm going to show you this magic secret. I'm just running that around all sides. And I'm not doing it perpendicular. I'm actually doing it at an angle because I want it to run over the edges, like not just be right on the edge. Now, again, you can't see that, but you will in 2 seconds. So I just dip it in like that. Give it a bit of a flick. And it's uneven and there's speckles everywhere, and that's what I want. That's what I want. So we're going to heat set that as well. Just put the lid on that because we all know that there's a very bad accident waiting to happen right there. Now I'm just going to hold this and heat it. And I never tire. I never ever tire of watching this. So now we've created this rustic label. And we're nearly finished this card. Nearly finished. Okay, so we've got a few things we want to do to this now. We want to start to put it together. I've, in an endeavour to be able to find my Take Your Pick, which is the most lost item on my desk. I've put some old washi tape on it. I hope that works. It's pretty bright. You can see it from any part of the room. Now, I want to get my Stamp and Seal. You don't need the Stamp and Seal Plus, just the Stamp and Seal. And I'm just going to run some across the back of this. And you'll see why in a couple of minutes. So I have some of the Stamp and Seal on the back there. Now, this is just sewing thread, metallic sewing thread. Now, I got this at a sewing supply shop. It's very, very fine. It's like gossamer. It's like spider's web. It's actual thread. So I'm just going to wrap that around about 4 fingers, about 5 or 6 times. Now, you get loads of this stuff. I think it's like 200 meters or something. And I need a pair of scissors to just snip that off. And I'm just going to tease it out a little bit and pop it down into that adhesive. So now I've got this really pretty, really lovely little label. Now I'm going to glue this straight onto our card base. And that's going on there. Make sure your card opens the right way. If your paper is directional, make sure it's going in the right direction. And oops, yes, you do have a little bit of wiggle room. So just be careful and give that a second to adhere. The next thing we're going to do is adhere this, and it's going along this way here. Now, if you've ever done basic art or anything like that, you'll know that there are certain things that, and the phrase is, please the eye. Now, I could put that straight across the middle and that'd probably look okay. But if I just go slightly up a bit, that is what is known as like the sweet spot. So that's going up there. Give that a minute to adhere. This is embossed, so it's got a lot of lumps and bumps and crevices and everything in it. So just give that a minute. And this we are popping up onto dimensionals, and that's going onto our card. Now you can put whatever sentiment you'd like inside this card. I generally leave them blank until I know what I'm going to use them for. In this case, it's a Christmas card, so, but yeah, I might put a personal message in there. So we'll just get rid of those. This is the quickest way, quickest and tidiest way to get rid of these. Straight in the bin. And that's going right there like that. Now I hope that's straight. Now you can tease this out a bit more if you wish, until you've got it how you want it. But there we go. There's a pretty simple, minimal supplies. If you follow the flashcard system, you'll always have these pieces to hand. You won't have to stop and cut them. And yeah, you can make a card in a reasonably short space of time. Now don't forget, if you'd like a copy of that measurements on how to cut them, the cutting guide, do send me an email please, tilly2145@gmail.com. Request the flashcard measurements, and if you go to Connie Stewart's YouTube channel or website or whatever it is, You don't want the 2.0 because they are a different size. You just want the standard flashcards. But I think that's a pretty nice card. I think if you had a lot of cards to make, that would be fairly quick. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I'll show you some of the other cards. We made 3 cards today. I'll show you the others. And they're all using the flashcard system. So here we have it in the landscape orientation, and this little piece I've cut out of the flashcard behind the cream part. And this third one is also a what do you call it, landscape. So yeah, it's hard to believe that they're all the same size as those pieces that we've just cut, but they are indeed. They look so much bigger on the card. So yeah, let me know what you think about those, and do have a go at them, even if you just cut up one sheet and, you know, see how that goes. I am sure that you are going to really, really enjoy using this system. And thank you so much to Connie for developing it. So I'm going to leave you there, and I do hope that you have a go. But let me know what you think of it. I mean, now that you have access to the Australian measurements, is this something that you're likely to go have a go at? Let me know. Anyway, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now. Bye.